From Fox News, DOJ indicts suspect who went viral for delivering protective gear to anti-ICE protesters on live TV. Let's go. Justice Department charges Alejandro Orellana with conspiracy to aid and abet civil disorders after delivering face shields. They got him, boys. Everybody was wondering who's paying for this. And it's not just this. So they got this guy. There was that lady. I don't know if you guys saw the viral video of the black woman in Portland screaming at the ICE protesters because she's like, you're harassing us. I'm not sure if it was her, but somebody was saying these people are leaving and going into office buildings. Someone is paying for their access to these resources to be able to sit outside of ICE. I think it's the government. I think these state governments are using the far left as essentially corsairs. They want illegal immigrants. It gives them political power at the federal level. They get electoral college votes, the more illegal immigrants they have, but they cannot use their sanctioned law enforcement to physically attack ICE. They can sanction these street activist protesters all wearing masks and then say, oh, geez, not us. It's just the people that are mad at you. But I think California, Oregon, Washington intentionally want the riots and they want to stop deportations.
I don't know about, well, I mean, I'm sure that California, at the very least, they want to seem like they're trying to stop the deportations because that's going to look good to their voter base.
But they can't actually hit an ICE agent.
Sure.
LAPD can't be instructed to go attack ICE. They can tell the Antifa people to do it. They can put undercover personnel in with black bloc Antifa and far leftists to instigate fights and then leave.
It's impossible. I've told that Antifa isn't a real thing. It's not even a group.
Yeah, you're right.
God. That's frustrating.
That you still hear that argument too.
You still really?
You still like if you it depends on how deep on Twitter you go, but you'll definitely still hear that argument, even though you can point to like pages where you can buy merch.
Yeah.
In Facebook groups.
It's frustrating because those like when it was the January 6th rioters, you know, they go to jail for however long without trial or whatever and stuff. And when it's when it's Antifa, it's like, oh, that's just an idea. You know, never mind the fact that you have video after video after video of people wearing black bloc or people dressed for a black bloc holding Antifa flags. But, you know, it's just an idea. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. So Trump is saying they may vote on the bill tonight.
Interesting.
They may pass it tonight, and it's sounding like Republicans may have enough votes to do it, but we'll see. In the meantime, I guess I'm wondering with, the escalation of the violence and resources for this, do we expect these protests, these riots, to reach a higher degree of conflict in the years to come?
You mean like through the summer and then worse when summer comes around next year?
There was just some kind of mass shooting in, where was it, like Portland?
Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Well, there was one there, but in Portland. So I think it was, I'm not entirely sure what happened. I think a Somali guy yesterday was opening fire or stuff. I'm wondering if, with these leftists arguing Trump is throwing bodies out of planes, do we start seeing something worse than weather underground level violence, bombings, and attacks?
Obviously you've been sitting here trying to crack jokes and stuff, but maybe, I get death threats and I'm a total nobody, So if it's reached a level where just idiots who get bucked off of horses for money are getting death threats, I would say it's a pretty good sign that it's not going to slow down. And then you've got this kid up in Coeur d'Alene that shot a bunch of firefighters.
Yeah. Do we know what the motivation was for that?
I haven't seen yet.
Wasn't it that he applied to join the fire department and was rejected? I read that, but I could have been wrong.
I don't know. I saw I'm pretty sure he was a lefty. I'll say that much based on the things I saw.
Hated his man.
So,
yeah.
And it's a travesty anytime this kind of thing happens. But when one party seems to be excited about it, that's a dangerous thing.
Mm-hmm. And their rhetoric has been pushing for this kind of stuff for a long time. And the fact that there's been all kinds of violence from the left for the better part of the past 10 years that's been excused. You don't hear politicians speaking up about all of the riots in the street, all the riots during 2020. In fact, they were, Kamala Harris was bailing people out. They were saying mostly peaceful. It was making excuses for all this stuff. And when you do that long enough, then the people on the left start thinking, well, we can get away with whatever we want,
And there's the long-held belief, like that they push that the idea is that all domestic terrorism has always been a right-wing idea, which is obviously because they never actually talk about anything that's done by lefties.
Yeah, never mind the fact that like leftists actually bombed Congress in the 80s. They were in the House. There was a bomb, and then Bill Clinton pardoned that person not 10 years later or whatever.
And then didn't one of them end up in Obama's administration as an advisor or something like that?
I believe so. And I'm not sure the details of it, but I do recall hearing something like that. But again, they just say, oh, it never happens, or, that doesn't happen, and ignore it or sweep it under the rug. The shooter that went and shot up the congressional, baseball game.
Yeah.
Steve Scalise is still in a wheelchair because of that. I think he has to have a colostomy bag because of that.
Oh my
God. That doesn't happen from left. It's only the right. It's ridiculous.
Attacks on Rand Paul, right?
Well, yes, those were there. There was the one that his neighbor got into a fight with him, and Rand actually had to subdue him and hold him until the police arrived, which good on you, Rand Paul. But there was also the attack when him and his wife were walking through DC and they were harassing him. This stuff happens regularly, and it's just always ignored. It's like, well, and they make excuses. Well, if you can't, oppress people this way, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's all ridiculous garbage. You can't allow this stuff, make excuses, and not expect more of it, So,
well, I mean, there's a prevailing idea that all the violence is justified because they believe that the ends justify the means, and that it's okay because they're working towards a greater good.
Yeah, it's
I just think it's social decay. I don't think these Antifa people think anything, honestly. Like, I think they're just out there, like, There's a group of people. It's their friend group. Their friends are doing a thing. They're doing a thing too. They couldn't tell you up, down, left, or right about it.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that it's always cast as, well, we're fighting oppression and we're fighting the bad guys. You don't have to know much more than that. It's real easy to be like, well, clearly my friends are saying these guys are the bad guys, so we got to fight back and we got to defend ourselves. And it's ridiculous, and I could go on and on about it.
Well, Aaron Bushnell started himself on fire, self-immolated, and they said he should be proud for what he did.
I'm gonna leave that one alone because I don't think that anything I have to say about Aaron Bushnell is going to be TOS friendly.
Okay,
about that. So,
part of me kind of hopes that these people just fizzle out and give up.
I don't think that this seems with the amount of propaganda that can be found online and the way your algorithm feeds you material. I don't think that's possible.
I mean, considering Trump winning the popular vote,
I think that what needs to happen, and I know that I sound like a broken record with this, but the better the economy is, and the fewer people are struggling, and the more people feel like they're invested in society, the fewer radicals you're going to have, the fewer people you're going to have that say, well, my situation sucks, so maybe if we tear everything down, my situation will be better. There's a lot of people on the left that look at the situation, they're like, well, I don't have anything, and I got nothing to lose then. So if we tear everything down and I got nothing at the end of it too, so it doesn't matter to me. And if you get enough people like that feel that way, they're going to tear it down. Particularly when you have so many young men that are in a position where they feel, like they're outcasts, or they have no future and stuff. They feel like they can't, either get a good job, or they can't find a wife, or they'll never have a family, can't buy a home. All these things that people feel like they can't have or can't get. I mean, they're just like, well, what does it matter if we tear it all down?
I don't know how we come back from the social decay. Young people not only can't afford it, they mostly won't work for it. I hear it over and over again. There's these viral videos from business owners that are like, Americans don't want to do the job, so they got to get illegal immigrants. Elon Musk, I think it was it Musk talking about this, that American workers are lazy.
That was during the H-1B visa stuff with Vivek.
And he's like, if you want to get a hard worker, they got to be from India. And so that's why they do it. And my attitude is, no, just take what you've got, and we've got to bite the bullet, and we're going to have lazier workers if that's the case. But it doesn't matter. You're not going to rebuild your country by bringing in foreign workers and letting your generation just struggle. But I think we're past the event horizon, because Gen Alpha is way too small. You can, if Trump does have these mass deportations take effect and denaturalization of criminals, we're going to drop 20 million people. if he actually succeeds in this.
I think the big beautiful bill is actually advanced now.
It's not advanced. It's moving to a vote. What you're looking at is them deciding whether or not they should consider it for a vote.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Voting to advance the bill.
Yep.
See, that's why everything in government moves so slow, is they have to vote to advance the bill just to vote on the bill.
I mean, that was the big news over the weekend. It was like the Senate has, it was like they voted yes on Trump's big, beautiful bill. What does it mean? It means they're going to vote on it. I'm not kidding.
J.D. Vance cast the tie-breaking vote.
They cast a vote to bring it to the floor for a vote. And I was
That's why
like,
people
what?
hate politics.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently right now I've got the PBS Live pulled up. They the Fox of North Carolina amendment on agreeing to the amendment.
You're going to go to New York to buy your groceries, and they're going to have to vote to sell you the groceries at your government-run grocery store.
Well, on that H-1B thing, though, didn't Microsoft just lay off like 2,300 guys and then apply for like 6,000 H-1Bs to replace them with?
Wow.
That doesn't make sense if your argument is the Americans are lazy, because it takes twice as much to replace them. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should stop the H-1B visa program. I don't know that it's going to happen or that it could happen or what the process would be. But the H-1B visa program, like, it's not bringing in people that are necessary to do these jobs. It's not like the O1 is the
what is O1? Exceptional talent?
Yeah, where you have some kind of special reason to come to the U.S. The H-1Bs are just like, come on, bring people in, and then you get chain migration.
I'm fine with it. I just don't care anymore. Like, guys, you know, I think this country's got too many communists. I think everyone's a communist. I said this before. I'm only half kidding. When people come to me and say that they deserve entitlements, I'm like, it's communism. You know, it's like I'm not literally communist. I'm just saying, how did we become a nation where people are like, I deserve free stuff from the government in any capacity, literally 1 penny, free roads, free whatever it might be. The government is going to take from somebody else to give me a thing that I want.
I mean, well, just the whole, like, you know, basic, what is it, UBI, Universal Basic Income. I don't know where that idea came from, but that's extremely popular with people, young people on the left. And all that will do is just add to inflation, and that'll be the baseline cost for everything, you know, whatever it is that you give to the people that, for, you know, $1,000 or $5,000 or whatever it is per month, it's just going to end up adding to inflation, which is only going to compound our problems.
If you ever want to look at a hellscape, look at r/AntiWork.
Yep. On Reddit.
Like, it's awful.
Oh, I mean, let's pull it up, dude. It's an ideological cancer. There's 2.9 million people in the AntiWork subreddit. Pay labor a fair wage. Mark Ruffalo says extreme wealth of billionaires is making U.S. desperate, not immigrants. That literally makes no sense. Yep. It makes no sense at all.
A man working for the most capitalist industry in America, the movie-making industry.
I do also want to point out that I think it may be a lot worse than people realize. Right around COVID, during the whole COVID period, it kind of just feels like millions of people died. And like maybe because they did, I don't know. But look at this on the right of the page. How many idlers does it say? Anybody?
What's an idler? Where?
Right on the right side, it says idlers. There's a number.
Almost 3 million, 2.9 million.
2.9 million. Okay. How many not working?
747.
What that means is there are 2.9 million people subscribed to the subreddit. Right now, only 747 are actually there on the page. It used to be that it would say 2.9 million and you'd have 200, 300,000 people actively. Really? We call that the 1% rule. How is it now that Reddit has millions of people subscribed to this, but only a few hundred? This is true for every single subreddit. I've been feeling like this for a while, that it seems like tons of people just stopped interacting and disappeared from society.
I mean, it could be like dead internet theory.
Yeah. Or it could just be that, I mean, dead internet theory that their bots would actually inflate the number. The number should be higher.
Yeah.
Unless
all the IPs would be in India.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. Nobody wants to work. What if this is just a cover for the fact there's no workers? Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.